Welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast, a podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wowing the world over the platform they deserve. I'm your host, Nathan Ragland, and today we continue along our trek into 2026's Amateur April, the time of year where I tried to find artists that I think have a smaller audience that you guys need to be following today, especially with the incredible artwork that they are putting out there. I will say today's episode, it might be possibly one of the most unhinged guests I've been able to bring upon this podcast, more than anything else. However, I think the conversation I had before you, well, it's as good as gold. Today's guest is Gold, a digital artist whose style is some of the most detailed and stunning out there, while their sense of humor is questionable at best. Gold is someone that I have been lucky enough to know for years at this point, us being in a very similar friend group, which we will talk about in the episode itself. And I'm actually quite surprised that she only recently asked me to take time to be on the podcast. And I knew just with the skill alone that she has, I knew she deserved to be on this podcast more than anything else. And I sincerely hope that you guys love the fantastic, silly, wacky conversation that we have before you today. If you enjoy our guest, please make sure you support her with the links down in the description below. If you enjoy the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. Leave 5 stars wherever you can. You know I see that stuff. You know it genuinely does warm my heart. If you want to go a little further with that support, may I recommend you check out the merch shop at fourthwall.com. We have some outstanding designs. It's done by some amazing guests that have come and gone through this podcast, and I think you would look sensational in the streetwear we have before you today. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. I thought Easter was like not next weekend, but like the following weekend or whatnot. I didn't realize it was next weekend.
I always thought that like Easter was like beginning, like the first week of April. I thought it started April 1st. Like, oh no.
I hope that we never have an April Fool's Day Easter, or at least in our experience or whatnot, you know?
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day Easter would just be the worst. I feel like it because Lord knows the kind of crazy headlines about like, oh yeah, that'd be the one time Jesus actually does come back to earth and no one would believe it because it's April Fool's Day.
Yeah, for real. I feel like people like would make like pranks based on Easter.
I mean, people would just make more memes about it like they do these days. I mean, look at how they deal with like all the chaos that's going on in the news, you know? Like
For real. Honestly, if I ever like Easter, like April Fool's Day, I probably would just like put a crap ton of crosses all over like my yard. like those kinds of like cemeteries or whatever.
Right.
No,
right.
that's just like the white crosses.
Just freaking have them all over in the yard. You pop outside at, like early in the morning. You're like, where did these come from? like play it off as you have no idea how they got there.
Yeah. I would have to do it like in the crack of dawn for sure.
Oh no, of course. Like that'd be like an overnight. That'd be something that like as soon as you're sure that like there's none of your neighbors are awake or whatnot, you just go out there and just very casually like get the ones that are easily just stab into the ground or whatnot. Just give it a little elbow grease or whatnot, and then head back inside.
Yeah, for real.
Oh goodness, that would be.
Oh Lord,
that would be so cursed. But honestly, that's also very on brand. All right, Gold, before we really do get going, I must ask the icebreaker question of the podcast, if I may. Let's say you get to go to a desert island on your own accords. It's just you alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, get truly enjoy yourself for a little bit. With accommodations. I shouldn't say desert island, more like a personal B&B paradise away from society for a little bit. To make sure you don't go further insane on this island, you could bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help with whatever kind of headspace
a body pillow of my boyfriend.
God, at least let me finish the question before you just immediately answer. I was gonna say, if you could bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help with whatever kind of headspace you want on this island, what will that one piece be? But you seem to already have that set, so would you like to repeat it?
A body pillow of my boyfriend.
I guess this is the point where we just automatically say, "Hi, Adam. I hope you're enjoying the episode already."
Hello.
Is there any particular reason why that's the first thing that pops in your mind?
Because I already saw, like, I skimmed through some of your episodes, and like that was like the icebreaker question, and I'm like, oh, okay.
And so you immediately thought, like, seeing what everyone else had with all the random stuff that people said before, your first thought was literally, give me a body pillow, my boyfriend.
Yeah.
If nothing else, I give you nothing but respect at the end of the day. But that is your answer. You're locking that in.
Yes.
Then if that's the case, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You will look fantastic in the merch we have at the merch shop, fourthwall.com. Link to that is in the description below. And follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and most social media platforms at Postmod Art Pod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guest. She is a digital artist whose style is some of the most detailed and stunning, and whose sense of humor is questionable at best. Welcome to the podcast, Gold.
Hello.
I tried to make sure to hold out the O because anytime I see your name online, you have like anywhere between like 8 to 12 O's with your gold. So
actually, it's 10 O's.
Oh, 10 O's. My bad. I apologize. I'll be sure it's correct on the YouTube title. How you doing tonight, Gold?
I'm doing all right, all things considered. I ate some pizza, and now I'm just chilling in my desk.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you taking the time to be here and do this. For those who don't know, you and I, we've known each other for a good bit of time because we were part of the same good friend groups. In fact, we've been on at least we've been part of the same, like, what, 2 or 3 group trips? 2 group trips at this point. Because I don't think you were at the first one.
No, I didn't go to
You didn't go to Momocon, but you were with the Florida one and you were with the Baltimore one, and also we had a separate side mission where you, me, and Adam were at Busch Gardens in Florida, which was fun.
Awesome.
But regardless, like, not only are you a fun person to chat with, but you're also a fantastic artist, and I knew I needed to get you on the podcast at some point, and I felt like, especially with when I'm bringing you on, Amateur April, where I feel like artists that don't get a lot of attention in the first place deserves more love and attention. I felt like this was the best time to bring you on to let the people know just how incredible of an artist you are. But before we talk about the art you're doing nowadays, I want to go back just a little bit and learn more or less the origin story of Gold. What got you interested in art in the first place?
I know I hear a lot of people like have like deep, meaningful like stories of how they started or how like it got them out of a bad place. Mm-hmm. Literally, my origin story is that some random black kid in kindergarten taught me how to draw a stick figure, and I just drew stick figures. That's it.
Honestly, that is actually kind of surprising, seeing how you go from the stick figures to seeing what you draw now. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious, like, what was it about, like, this friend of yours just teaching you how to draw stick figures? Why was that, like, the spark? Why was the thing where you had that?
I didn't even know the kid. It was just some random classmate, like, teaching me how to draw stick figures.
He's just... Okay, interesting.
Like, there is no... That's it. That's really it. And then I just started. Just kept drawing. Like,
you know what? I think that is the greatest origin story that has ever been on the Postmodern Art Podcast. I will put it in writing today. Okay, so it started as just something that was fun because a classmate of yours just randomly taught you how to draw stick figures. For context, I have to know, like, what grade was this? How old were you when you learned this?
I told you it was kindergarten.
Oh, it was kindergarten. Okay, now that you say that, that makes a little bit more sense. If it was one of those, like, I was in 6th grade and this classmate of mine taught me how to draw stick figures, I would have a lot more questions. But, okay, kindergarten makes sense. So I'm curious, if it started off with merely stick figures in kindergarten, when did it eventually snowball to the point where you are right now? Like, when did it get to a point where you thought that you could potentially make this a career for yourself?
I'll be real with you. Like, I actually don't know. I just know that when I was growing up, like I grew up with I was very much like a PlayStation Nintendo kid for sure.
Okay.
And especially like with a lot of like the Mario games. I just drew a lot of Super Mario Galaxy, especially Super Mario Galaxy. That was pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't remember exactly, but I know around third grade is when I started to draw a lot of that. It started in second grade, but it eventually snowballed into that. Because I remember I used to draw a lot of, especially like the trio princesses, Princess Peach and Daisy and Rosalina.
There you go.
And oh, excuse me.
Very good.
Of course, I unfortunately got exposed to not so good stuff on there. Obviously, at the time, I didn't remember like, oh, I'm drawing women with tig bitties.
Yep.
Oh,
that's the unfortunate thing about the internet. Rule 34 and all its chaos.
Yeah, I was like, again, it didn't register in my head that like, oh, hey, maybe I shouldn't draw that. What? Yeah. Other than that, like, that was pretty much like what inspired me to move from just stick figures into like doing, I guess, just regular figures.
I mean, honestly, that's fair enough. I mean, given especially like you said, the Super Mario, especially like Super Mario Galaxy, seeing the character designs that game had at the beginning, at the end of the day, more than anything else. Like you said, the trio of princesses was definitely a major one. I mean, look at the designs, as you can clearly see with what they're about to do with, at the time we're talking, the upcoming release of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I mean, it's not like they
Dude, I'm so hyped.
I can imagine.
I forced my nephew to play Super Mario Galaxy. It was awesome. He was struggling with like one of the worlds, and it was awesome seeing him struggle. But he eventually got
right.
He eventually got over it.
It's just that kind of, I guess, that younger person, you'd be like, oh, I totally would have got this easy. Come on, kid, let's do this.
Yeah.
But regardless, like it's incredible to know that like that, again, that love for that stuff eventually got you from, again, stick figures to Mario drawings to here we are right now with the incredible art that you're able to even put out there in the first place. I gotta point out, it's weird to think that like it went from Mario to what you have nowadays, because, and I'm gonna make sure to put a drawing up here right now so that people can see, but like seeing your art style right now, I am amazed when it comes to like the detail and like the realism that you kind of put into it for the most part. What made you want to go down kind of like the realistic, anatomically correct-esque path when it came to like how you drew figures? Like what made you want to, like, I guess, study human anatomy in a way?
Okay, so I'm gonna be real with you. I switched styles a lot, like growing up for sure.
Okay.
I know since like third grade to, I believe, sixth grade. Yes, sixth grade. Like I did a lot more like anime style type because I don't know, I don't remember what I was into at the time, but I remember I used to love Astro Boy growing up, so that was like also a big thing for sure. I was first introduced to like the movie that came out that absolutely sucked butt, but then I also watched like the 2003 anime. That was really cool. I was like obsessed, like concerningly obsessed with Astro Boy, like for sure. And again, like watching Astro Boy and then watching like I watched like a few different animes back then. I couldn't pinpoint what exactly.
Right.
But that definitely inspired me to draw in that style. And then, let's say, 7th grade to high school, freshman year, I switched my art style to kind of Jamie Hewlett's art style, or like, the style of Gorillaz. Because I really liked the band at the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I made my characters look even uglier than I thought. Don't do that, guys.
It's a very unique style at the end of the day.
It is indeed a very unique style. But again, like the more I drew it, the more I'm like, I don't want my to look like this.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I thought it was ugly. But and then it switched over to just I don't know. I guess like I started to develop my own style at that time, and what really got me into, I guess like here, like in 2019, what really got me into like the details of like, of like character designs and stuff is, at the time, I was planning my quinceañera, and I was like looking around different dresses, different centerpieces, different venues, and all that stuff, and I'm like, holy crap, Lois, I love all these details. And so I wanted to like enforce all those details into like my drawings. I remember it was like 2020. I freaking loved drawing wedding dresses. I loved drawing wedding dresses, especially like the the details like on in the embroidery, all that different stuff. Like that was my shit back then. Like I loved doing that, especially like designing dresses as well. Like, and from that point on, I was like, I want to put this like in not all, but most of my character designs are all my drawings. Because and also it just and if I don't, it just makes my paintings feel incomplete or my drawings incomplete.
Honestly, that's extremely valid. I mean, again, like I said, whenever I put up the drawings and stuff, seeing the amount of like detail and almost like realism that you put into your art and such, like it's very understandable how it can almost feel incomplete when you don't go like the full extra mile or the full distance, like getting those little details, adding like the embroidery and such. And I appreciate that. Like what started off as something that for a lot of people, they're probably not focused on the details as much. For you, it became something that not only was an integral part of your life, but an integral part of like your art career and like your art style and what you wanted to go down at the end of the day. Like it's something that I still love and admire anytime that you put out any sort of like new art piece at the end of the day. Just whatever weird random art style you decide to put out there or whatnot. I always love how well you adapt to it more than anything else. There's one character that I at least tend to notice that you put a lot of love into, or at least there's a lot more frequency when it comes to the art or whatnot. And I definitely want to delve on this character a little bit because I know it's a very particular, I guess, muse or whatnot for some of your drawings and such. Who is this random woman that I see occasionally on your timeline called Tokki or Atomic Tokki?
Oh, okay. So she is technically the first character I've ever created.
Okay.
Back in 2018, I was around 14 at the time, I believe. Or was it 2017? 2017, I was 13.
Okay.
She was originally named Charlie, which is going to be like a online persona that I was going to partake in.
Okay.
But around 2020, I was very bored in my dad's truck, and I was like, "Hey, let's make a character. I don't know what." And so I listened to, and there was this one Doja Cat song.
Okay.
That. It's not even a good song. I think it was literally called "Make That Cake," and it was like the most ratchet fucking song you could think of.
Okay.
And with that, I'm like, okay, what am I getting here? Okay, how about a supervillain woman who works at a bakery but is part of the mafia? Cool. Like, and that's just kind of snowballed into there. And again, her first design was just the standard like pigtail braids with like a bunny headband and just not a jumpsuit, sorry, what's it called, overalls,
okay,
socks and that's it. Now that was peak character design allegedly when I was 16.
It was the style at the time.
It was in fact the style of the time, and it kind of just like snowballed a lot. She was definitely like my guinea pig for sure when it came to anything really.
Right.
And like the idea or like where I got the inspiration to like create a whole comic based on this freaking female, let's just put it lightly. She doesn't even deserve to be called a woman. It was mostly out of spite.
Right.
Like, because, again, when I was creating Tokki, this was also during the time where, the Western comic book industry was hurting bad.
Yeah.
They were pumping out slop after slop, especially, I guess what really broke the camel's back for me was when I saw a review of Gotham High, which by Melissa, they let cruise, and I skimmed through it and it's bad. It's very bad. Okay. And another one that I saw that also had a lot of controversy was Marvel's like the new Warriors. I guess. I don't know if you remember that controversy, but I saw that and I'm like, I feel like I could make a better comic. And I won't even have to try. And yeah.
No, honestly,
and it just snowballed from there.
it's weird. Again, it's weird what starts off as a random thing that you had when you were like 13, 14 years old, and then what you developed while you were bored listening to a random ratchet Doja Cat song spiraled into this incredible like creative thing to where like you're able to again like go back to her design and such and like tinker with it and have like this, you know, again, fun comic idea that you make out of spite at the end of the day, which, trust me, compared to a lot of people that I've talked about on this podcast, spite is a very strong motivator when it comes to the art world.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, like,
oh yeah.
It's one thing to just randomly like come up with her and like have the design. What is it about Tokki that makes you want to keep coming back to her and like draw new ideas and come up with new concepts based around her?
Again, like I said, she was mostly my guinea pig when it comes to because again, this was also during when I first created Tokki. This was also during the time where I really put effort into like writing because I was
okay
horrendous at writing for sure. I'm not sure. Like I can't pinpoint an exact reason, but okay. I guess for the top 5 reasons, if you will, not really top 5, but you know.
Well, I mean, I feel like with the way I feel like with the way they said like of her being more or less like the guinea pig when it comes to art, like that makes complete sense at the end of the day. Like if you like thinking about like seeing how your art has especially evolved and such, and trying to figure out like ways to where something could potentially work, or if you have an idea, like, hey, that's the go-to more or less. That's your, you know, like that's the everyday, you know, rotation player or whatnot that comes in and be like, I know what the baseline is for you. Let's see how I can exaggerate it. Let's see what I can tinker with it. Let's see if I can actually nail down this thing.
Yeah, I guess like the one thing that keeps me, I guess, coming back to like, you know, experiment with Tokki is like just seeing how like the comic book industry is doing.
Oh yeah.
Like if I see them like buck up astronomically, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna not do that. And then like when it comes to like other media that like I consume, if I really like it, I'm gonna try to test it out with Tokki. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Right now, currently, again, I don't know if I've told you before, but like the comic takes place in like the 1980s for sure.
Okay.
Around like 1980s Florida, and of course like I really want to try to make it its own vibe because I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna call a spade here. Yep. There is a lot of media that revolve around the 80s, especially nowadays. With like, you know, Stranger Things and I think what was it? Didn't Bumblebee come out like a couple years ago? I think that also took place in the 80s for sure.
Yep.
And also like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that also took it kind of took place in the 80s.
It has its origin in the 80s more or less.
Yeah. So I guess like my goal for, when it comes to like aesthetics and vibe of it, I really just wanted to have its own thing. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. It's just overall just, you know, swapping different concepts and ideas, and then if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it does not.
No, that's fair. 2 things. 1, I did not realize how much of a comic book, to be blunt, didn't realize how much of a comic book nerd you were at the end of the day. Like I obviously I knew you were a fan of this kind of stuff, but I did not realize that you were a person that I guess frequents a lot of comic books and such, and sees kind of the trends and how things play out and such.
Yeah. Well, nowadays like I kind of like down a bit, but I still like, you know, if I ever go shopping at the mall, I'm still gonna go to the comics store and like check it out.
Right.
But again, like when at the time of Tokki, I was a huge like comic book fan. Like I really, especially there was this one artist in particular. Her name was, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but it's Mirka Andolfo, and she's an Italian comic artist. And I got heavily inspired like by her. That she has like a really, I don't know. To me, she perfectly meshes like the art style where it's like it's a little cartoonish, but at the same time like it's also detailed enough for like it, you know, it doesn't, what's the word, it doesn't lose your attention for sure.
Okay, certainly knows how to like, I get like you said, not lose your attention, but I'd say like grasp your attention, like really have the art pop out on the page, so no matter what you're looking at.
Yeah, That's what I really liked about her art, and I'm like, I want that art style. And I quite literally had her art style for years until eventually I drifted away and did my own stuff.
Right. I'm a person that definitely needs to get a lot more into comics myself, although I do have a couple of like graphic novels that I have off to the side right here. Hold on. A lot of these are partially because of guests I previously had on the podcast, like this one, Funny Things, where the guy that I have on the podcast, this is basically the life of Charles Schultz, the guy that made Peanuts in the style of Peanuts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also got this one from a guest that was 1,000 Dead Draculas is their name or whatnot. This is the graphic novel. They also have a currently ongoing series called Sever and Pierce, which is amazing. But if we're going to talk about non-guest one, I think you might actually be fairly familiar with this one, at least. This is something that Christine got me that I've been meaning to take the opportunity to actually read or whatnot. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Tank Girl was also like another inspiration for Tokki at the time, like when I first started creating her.
I mean, I could certainly
Because originally she was like, you know, the Tank Girl, Harley Quinn, like type of, you know, character.
Mm-hmm.
But as time went on, she became more like a Joan Jett, like Catwoman, Madonna kind of character.
Okay,
for sure.
I mean, especially with the art that I have been able to see of Tokki or whatnot, I definitely get all those influences and such more or less at the end of the day. And I appreciate the fact that it's something that you have a strong passion for, that again, you're turning it into a comic, which you mentioned earlier, if you'll know, you mentioned it to me. No, I had not heard about this before you mentioned this right now. What is this comic that you're tinkering with when it comes to Tokki?
So obviously this comic has been in the works for like over 6 years at this point. It's been on and off, but
okay.
And Tokki's story like has changed multiple times. But the one, I guess, at the time of this recording, like the main story with Tokki is that it is a classic fall from grace story, for sure. That's all I'm going to say.
No,
because I tried going to because she was originally going to be a hero for this, but the more I wrote her character, the less I guess the less sense it made to make her a hero. Like, I understand that, like, you know, people have their past and, you know, people can make mistakes, but the more I wrote Tokki, the less justified it feels to make it almost felt wrong to make her character despite all the stuff that I've written her to do. And I'm just like, you know what, it would be easier if I just made her a villain. And there you go. Of course, like the overall mood of the comic has shifted for sure. It has definitely swayed one or the other, but it was originally going to be like some like Zack Snyder, like a psychological analysis of Tokki. Yeah, it was kind of in a weird way. It was kind of like the Chris Chan documentary, like kind of deal.
Oh goodness!
Like it was like a detailed like descent to madness. In a way,
something like a Watchmen, or I'm trying to think what else I had, another, or like a Sin City or whatnot, not really showcasing or like highlighting like the incredible feats of the hero or whatnot, but more like the grime and scum of like the atmosphere at the end of the day.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. And then, you know, recently, as of like, you know, beginning of this year, I was like, let's start over. I'm like, this is, it was getting so, I don't know, I was turning into George Lucas, you know, writing her story. And I guess to quote, I mean, yeah, I did, in fact, go too far in a few places. But, brother. But nowadays, again, now it's more so just like a simple fall from grace story. No she didn't have you know, there's no, I guess there's no, like, detailed analysis about the psychology of Tokki. It's just like, I like doing bad stuff because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. Yeah.
Who knew being bad could make you feel so good?
Exactly. she's just like, I like doing bad stuff because it makes me feel good.
I mean, I certainly got that vibe, especially with some of the artwork that you've been able to do, especially with one that features another former guest that has been on the podcast. You seem to pair Tokki with Taven a lot, a good old character from Mr. Bill Callis himself.
Yeah, I guess shipping, I guess those two, is when she had like the Zack Snyder lore where it's all detailed and stuff. Nowadays, it would probably just be like figuratively and literally a one-hit wonder. And there you go.
That's fair enough.
Just hit it and go. Yeah.
That's not a one-hit wonder. That's a one-night stand. I'm pretty sure there's a
one-night stand. Sorry, I fucked up. I meant one-night stand.
You're good. No, I mean like that alone with Tokki, like the concept of the comic or whatnot, especially with hearing that Taven is a one-hit wonder with them or with her, not a one-night stand or whatnot. No, I'm joking. No,
excuse my incompetence.
No, you're good. But like in all seriousness, it does also lead me kind of to wonder or whatnot, because there's so many interesting pieces, not just with Tokki, but just some of the incredible pieces I've seen in general they've been able to put out there. I'm curious if there is one, but I'll just ask like this: what is the process like for you when it comes to really developing a piece of art, or like a nice idea, a comic, a concept? What's the process like for you from like thinking of an idea to bringing it out to reality?
I guess when it comes to drawings, it all really depends on who I'm drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, like I would have to be like infinitely like inspired to do things. Because nowadays I don't really draw that much. Like even if I'm looking for a job, I prefer to take my time.
That's fair.
Like to think of ideas. Also, not to mention, I'm kind of like more with my family's business. But anyway. But yeah, again, it all just really depends on what I'm drawing or who I'm drawing. It also depends on like what vision I have, because again, I remember with some, again, what was it? I know like with one piece I did of Taven, I recreated the Fallen Angel piece. Yeah. That only took me 2 hours.
Oh wow!
But which I know was like lightning fast, in that kind of style, but. Again, it was pretty easy, to be honest. Well, I more so just like see how other people like paint, especially like real like live painters,
mm-hmm.
and how they do it and how they blend, and I'm like, oh, I'll try that.
Okay. No, it's valid. See, that's the thing that I sometimes forget, is that like as good as you are with this stuff, I also forget how fast you can be with this stuff as well. Because I've seen you like drawing in real time, and I've also been like, wow, you already got that done already? Goodness.
But it's kind of hilarious because like, I take a long time to draw sometimes, like, mm-hmm. But then like when I'm at my desk and when I'm fully inspired, it'll take me like probably less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like do a full piece or whatever.
I know a good example of that, and I'm bringing this up because this is one of my 2 favorite pieces that I've ever seen you do or whatnot. But for me personally, one of my favorite pieces is whenever you decide to do a humanized Mr. Moneybags with a Mrs. Moneybags to go with it. I forgot, because I remember you seeing you draw that in real time. I'm like, wow, that is really quick. How did you do that?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I thought that was adorable.
No, they were very adorable. That's why I say it's like one of my favorite pieces. I like, aside from the bias of obviously it's my character being brought into human life with a good looking person to go with them or whatnot. Genuinely, mm-hmm. like it was also like really well done, and in a surprising amount of time as well. Like even if it's just a sketch, it was very well done.
Yeah, like when it comes to at least like live drawings, because currently I was hired by like an event company to do caricatures now. Oh. So I kind of have no choice but to draw faster. And well,
hey, it's what the job signs up for.
Yeah, heck yeah. I'm basically getting paid to, shit on people. It's fun.
God, if birds could, you sound like if a pigeon was starting to make money. I get paid to shit on people.
Heck yeah. That's my favorite animal, a bird.
Not a specific kind of bird, just the bird.
No, I'm just a regular like parakeet. You just like spray paint gold.
A parakeet that you spray paint. That's not healthy. That I'm pretty sure that would kill the parakeet immediately.
What are you talking about? It'll live.
Yeah, sure, it'll live once it gets past all the paint fumes for the little tiny body.
It'll be all right. All I have to do is just walk it off.
Oh goodness. I will say, so that's one of my favorite pieces. My other favorite piece that I have to bring up immediately, and it's actually probably a very, very, very new piece. In fact, I believe at the time that we're recording, it's about 3 months old, 3.5 months old at this point or whatnot. What inspired you to go all in and make a very, I guess, detailed retelling of Bill and our buddy Bill and PA looking at the heavens like God is ascending down on them?
Oh, okay. First off, it is technically a photo edit. If it was like if it was like a real life painting, it would not have taken me that, quick.
I mean, even then,
Second,
I said even then, I still call it art at the end of the day. Like, I know it's more of a photo edit, but that's art, especially if you look at it.
Yeah. And the second, like, it was just like an impulse thing. Like, I saw that photo and I was like, this is so weird. What are these two freaks doing? And so I was like, just for the hell of it, though. I'm like, what if this was like in a Renaissance art style? And like, I immediately like got to work. It's just like I saw Bill's face and I'm like, oh, he looks so stupid. Let's paint him in the Renaissance style.
Like, again, I love your mind sometimes. I love that that's where your mind went to or whatnot, especially again with like the because it was a very simple scene. It's just PA and Bill just relaxing or whatnot, and Bill's like, I don't know, looking off or whatnot, or I think he might be asleep or whatnot. But like the fact that you took that and again you made it seem like a Renaissance style painting of two peasants looking up at God as he is ascending down like hell and brimstone onto them or whatnot. Like, your mind works in mysterious ways, and I love it.
It really does. I remember, like, when I was much younger, it was a lot more unhinged, but now as an adult, it definitely has come down a little.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean doesn't mean that any of the unhinged. That doesn't mean that you're not unhinged at all. Trust me, we've been in several Discord calls together, and you could definitely have your unhinged moments.
Oh no, I just let loose. It is. Who needs to be drunk when you keep yourself?
Yeah, exactly. I love that mentality at the end of the day. It does lead me to wonder, since I mentioned my favorite pieces, I'm curious when it comes to you, because you've done a lot of good, incredible pieces at the end of the day. Is there any that stick to your mind as like some of your personal favorites?
Ooh, good heavens to Betsy. I don't know. I have so many art that I don't know which one is a good one, I guess. Let me skim through here to my magical book of Steve Jobs here.
Magical book of Steve Jobs.
Hold on, you're gonna have to.
Like, I know what you meant by that. Like, you're talking about your iPad or whatnot. But like,
I'm like looking through and I'm like, I don't know. Like, they're all like very colorful and stuff, which I'm very proud of. I'm glad I can just literally stamp my idea onto paper.
Absolutely.
Not struggle at all. Because I know that is definitely a lot of artists struggle with, from what I hear.
Oh yeah.
And like for me, like I'm fine. I'm just chilling. I'm vibing. Can't relate. Sorry.
I mean, I know. With all the people that I've previously had on the podcast, I know there's a good handful that have that same kind of mentality to you. The first one that comes to mind is one that I had a couple weeks ago, a VTuber by the name of Oceanox. Because she does an emphasis of a like 90s anime aesthetic style, but even she's told me like she's even looked at some of her early pieces and she's like, yeah, no, I'm proud of that more than anything, because I don't cringe at it like some like other artists do and such, thinking like, oh, it could have been like this, like that. Like, she still thinks fondly of her first pieces and such.
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of the same way. Especially during 2021 through 2023, like. Looking back, like, my art was colorful as shit, and I'm very proud of that, I guess, phase of art. Mm-hmm. Like, it was definitely, I don't know what I was trying to go for, but it was, it looked good. It looked good.
I agree. I agree, but I was also gonna say I'm surprised that the first one you didn't mention is, I think this is actually a recent video that you just posted of some of the different ways you've drawn your boyfriend, aka Adam.
Yeah. Honestly, like it's because again, like Adam is I guess being in a relationship with him, like it is still new,
Right?
like in my life. So of course I didn't draw him, but he's still my muse.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I always tell him he's my favorite character design because he is. And again, there was one. What was I gonna say? I remember there was one time like I did like a portrait of him, like a full on like painted portrait, and I'm like, I mean, it was all right. It was. It wasn't great.
Like,
well, like obviously, yes, it did capture his features, but I'm like,
yeah,
he looks gay. It's like darn, I fucked it up. Oh, what's that one meme of Dexter where he goes like, "I have failed you," and he's like looking at the. Yeah, there you go.
It's like in his locker or whatnot. I think it was like to Einstein or whatnot. I forget what the original one was or whatnot, but I know what the meme you're talking about is. But I was gonna say at the very least, like, okay, that's what you thought of that original piece. I will say the new one that you recently posted, the video or whatnot, that had like the comparison of like how other people see your boyfriend compared to how you see him or whatnot. Look, I've always thought Adam was a really cool person, but you made him look like a fucking god with the illustrations that you did. I'm just saying.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But anywho, for me, I guess my favorite piece of all time that I've always liked to use when it comes to like examples of my art is when I recreated a piece I did back in 2019? Yeah, 2019. When I first met Tay, I remember she drew one of her characters she drew one of her characters, which I believe was like the blue-haired one, Sumatra, and excuse me, and I drew like the Halloween, I guess my Halloween spin on it, and obviously that picture flopped. Looking back at it, and then I redrew it, I think like a year ago, and I freaking love it. I love it to bits. I'm very proud of how it turned out because it was very difficult trying to, what's the word? Like do painting, but not realistic, like stylized painting.
There you go.
But yeah, I think that is like my favorite piece of all time.
Okay.
It's like just when it comes to like technique, like that is my favorite piece.
Well,
for sure.
And trust me, I think people are going to agree, especially when they see it plastered on the video version of this podcast at the end of the day.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I also have to go ahead and just ask this real quickly or whatnot, because I did not think about this, obviously, but like, how did you even know about Tay in the first place, and how did you become part of like the orbit with them or whatnot?
I literally saw their Suka art, and I drew. They made a piece with like King Dedede Nest cartoon, and I redrew it as like a stereotypical manga bit, and of course they loved it. And after they told me like, "Hey, I really like your piece," I was like, "Hey, draw really, 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 really sultry art of King Dedede Nest cartoon, please. Thanks, bestie."
And it's been uphill since then when it comes to your guys' friendship.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, for goodness sakes, what was it? It was just early. Again, it was early this year. You got to see them in person for, I assume, the first time. That has to account for something, for like what, years of friendship.
Honestly, for sure. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I thought she was not gonna give a shit.
Oh no,
I really thought, because again, like, I mean, obviously, like, we're not like super close, like as we, like were back then. But I was like, oh man, I'm in the dust. But no, like, when we first, like, in person for the first time, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that trip is like forever life changing for everyone that was a part of it. That Baltimore trip or what, I don't care what anyone says. Like that is like our canon event, but it's the good canon event, Yeah. Again, it's such a shame though, because like I wasn't able to enjoy it as much because I was still like
sad about quitting my job like on the spot.
Right. That was.
But I did the best I could to enjoy it.
No,
and, it was good.
Absolutely. Good. I mean, to be fair, I feel like I'm doing my audience a disservice if I don't mention this story in the first place or whatnot. But like, for goodness sakes, like you had planned on going on this. We're part of a group that decided to go on this giant trip to Baltimore. I think at the end there was like 17 people that went on this trip or whatnot. And
yeah,
for the longest time at the warehouse that you had worked at or whatnot, they had promised you for the longest time that like, hey, our thing's a little weird, but like, we'll promise you'll be able to get these days off so you can go on this trip for the longest time. And then
the only problem with that is that like, I don't know, maybe this is just like a huge misunderstanding, but they only told me that yes, like if you here I asked them like, hey, like I have a trip going on in in January and I don't have that vacation time now, like can I put in my stuff like when the vacation time comes? Because at the time, they used to give you the vacation time like at the beginning of the year.
Right.
I didn't have any left because to go see Adam.
Right.
So they were like, yeah, you can put it in. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then literally like the day before the trip, they're like, no. Well. I'm like, well. Okay.
Which was such a weird situation. But I remember everyone in the chat being like so sad, but we're also like, this job sucks in the first place, so you might as well just quit it. And then next thing we know,
it is a factory job, so it's just it's not great.
Yeah, it's not great. Trust me, I work a warehouse job right now. I know exactly what that. I get that mentality. I get that vibe in the first place. And the fact that it wasn't even like a full 12 hours before you were even supposed to be on that plane or whatnot.
It was the beginning of my shift, which started at like 6:30 in the morning. And they were like, yeah, actually, we're going to have to cancel it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking about like from whenever you decided to finally quit. It wasn't even a full 12 hours before your flight was supposed to take off. Whenever you decided, no, fuck this. I'm done. I'm gone. Deuces. Like you decided to quit your job and go on the trip.
Yeah. Again, like at first, like, I mean, I'd be lying if I say I didn't feel bad for like my coworkers, but
of course,
because I didn't really get to say goodbye to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's one of those ones where like I wish because here's the thing, I was already planning on leaving that job at some point. I just wanted to finish paying off my student loans first before I left. But and also like it's just one of those things where like, oh man, I wish I put in my 2 weeks if I knew this was gonna happen. Because, like, truth be told, this was, like, the second time this happened, like, when I worked at a place where I just quit on the spot because, like, I just didn't like working there.
Right.
I get it that, like, I get it that it's not a requirement to give it 2 weeks, but it's, it wouldn't hurt to, like, let people know.
No, like, trust me, I have that same mentality when it comes to the jobs that I've had. I think with every place that I've worked at, I've at least, even if I do not like that place whatsoever, I still at least gave a 2 weeks notice, if nothing else, because it's not always because of the people that you're working with, and you don't want to screw them because they're doing a good job or whatnot. It's just the circumstances and the environment or whatnot you're just not a huge fan of or whatnot. And again, it's not the people that whatever weird workplace relationship you develop with whatnot, you don't want them to feel like, oh, well, fuck us then, right? At the end of the day, I get that mentality.
Again, I really hope that my co doing well, especially like, hell, even the people that screwed me over, like, I hope they're doing well.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I don't know. I have like a weird feeling about it still because it's obviously like my, family has worked there, and also like I have worked there, and they know people there, stuff. And then again, they were like my coworkers themselves, like they were really nice people.
Yeah.
Like they were like these small Hispanic ladies that I was always talk about to make the day go faster. It was fun.
Yeah. But I mean, again, like at the end of the day, like the place was basically screwing you or whatnot when it came to like opportunities and certain things that they had promised you beforehand or whatnot. If they were just gonna keep up the disrespect, why allow it to keep up at the end of the day,
Yeah, and also not to mention, it was starting to take like a physical toll on me as well. Because like right now, like because of how bad. Again, here's the worst part about it. Like that was like a good factory job, which it's not saying much, but you know it's actually better than like the other factory jobs like, here. And I'm like, well, heavens to Betsy's.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not fun. But yeah, because of that factory job, like my freaking skeletal system's all messed up. And I have like really bad hearing now from all like the noises.
Yeah. No, I
and also I gained a shit ton of weight.
Look, again, as someone that also works a warehouse job and such to this day or whatnot, no, I completely understand where you're coming from, and I get how much of a slaving experience it could be at the end of the day for you or whatnot. But here you are right now. I mean, I don't know what exactly you're doing at this exact moment, but I mean, hey, you're getting the opportunity to relax and rethink your life and potentially go forth on a different path and make something incredible with yourself, especially again with some of the incredible art skills that you've been able to hone and adapt throughout all these years and such. It leads me to wonder, like, I feel like at this point you've only like scratched the surface with what you could potentially do with your art. What is the like hope and dream that you have with this kind of art journey that you've gone down?
Well, I hope like one day to again be in the comic book industry, like for sure. I especially work in like Image Comics for sure, because I don't really trust Marvel or DC that much, considering all the slop they were pumping out.
That's fair.
But again, I've told some people this, but I said that if art doesn't work out, like if God forbid art does not work out or doesn't go anywhere, I either want to be a event planner or a meteorologist.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, because again, like I told Adam, like when we were having our calls, like during the time where I was drawing, like I was experimenting with like anime styles, like I also had a huge passion for weather for sure. I remember I wanted to collect like all of like the old radios that they used. I even have like my first radio like here like, in my drawer.
Oh,
it still works. Yeah. As the kids say, it was my autism. For sure. I don't actually have autism, guys. I don't know. It's just a new cool hip thing. I don't know. 6'7". I don't know. What's trending nowadays?
Gold, I already feel old as it is. Don't bring up 6'7" in this call ever again. I swear to God.
Sorry.
No, I'm joking.
I don't know.
I'm joking with you. Oh goodness! And I was gonna say or whatnot. It's not that you don't have autism. It's just you're not sure if you don't have any sort of diagnosis whatsoever. Okay.
Undiagnosed, but pretty sure. No, no. In all seriousness, though, it was just like a huge passion I had at the time,
right? For
sure. I remember, like I've always told myself, like at the time, where it's like, oh, like if I can't be an artist, I want to be a meteorologist or a storm chaser, for sure.
I somehow I can easily see you being a storm chaser more than anything else. I feel like you would be crazy enough to be following up on tornadoes or whatnot. That's why you're attracted to Adam. You're used to that Florida man mentality.
No, I remember I used to freaking love like studying about tornadoes and stuff, which is funny because I freaking barely passed science in middle school, but I loved learning about the weather stuff and how it works. And how you can like track it or predict it. Like it was very cool. I remember I got so happy when it rained on my birthday or when it started to storm, and I'm like, yes, I can use my radio. Yay! It was such an amazing thing. I remember I took that shit everywhere. I remember I took it into a Michael, like while I was like shopping for.
And you say you don't have autism.
I don't know. It was just like an interesting thing. It was like at the time, like where my sister's quinceañera was happening, we were looking for like flowers and stuff, and I just like all you hear like in the store was just like tonight's forecast.
Yep.
Like cloudy, chance of rain 20%. That's it.
I was gonna say, so obviously my mom used to live in Florida. My mom and her roommate, and they had one of those like radios because obviously with Florida, hurricanes are a major thing. So whenever stuff hits the fan, you want to make sure you have good access to the weather service and such. I still remember, like, whenever you mentioned like tonight's forecast, like that just sent me like a blast from the past, remembering to hear that stuff whenever I was visiting them, you know?
Yeah, if anything, I had to use it like 2 days. I had to use my radio 2 days ago because I didn't know how the storms were gonna affect the power in my house.
Right.
And it was so interesting. I don't know. I feel like I reverted back to 11 years old. Like, it's just like, oh, like, yeah, that's the Paul like AI voice that they're using now, or that's the old Microsoft Tom voice that they're using. And it was like weird, like facts like that I all of a sudden knew. You know.
Right.
It was interesting. It was
Really?
interesting for.
And again, I love how that interest also went alongside, again, like the art interest that you have, that like obviously like with how much you've invested into that and how much that, like, obviously when people see any of your artwork, they can see how much of a love and dedication you have for that at the end of the day. It does leave me curious, like even taking just like an additional step back, thinking to how far you've been able to come along this journey or whatnot, whether it was back in kindergarten where you learned from a classmate how to draw stick figures to here you are right now putting forth incredible, intricate pieces in one form or fashion. Does it amaze you more or less how far you've been able to develop as an artist?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like honestly, like my little old self would probably just like freak the fuck out if they saw my art. Like today, I was like, "Oh, you could pump that like in 2 hours." However, at the same time, my younger self would be like, "Oh, I could just like oh, you guys have AI now. I'll just sit here."
Oh god.
Because I don't know. That was just my kind of personality back then.
Well, I'm glad you grew out of that part of your personality.
For sure. I guess like when it comes to AI, like I don't get threatened by it. Yeah. Because again, I'm also technically like a live artist as well.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like, making caricatures and like making portraits of people, like yeah, I mean AI is not gonna be able to reach that anytime soon. We'll probably be dead by the time they do, so no need to worry.
I love your optimism at the end of the day when it comes to that.
And again, like when it comes to like AI generated images, like for sure. I don't think all of AI is bad. Again, it's just but it's just one of those types of AI where it's like you could just learn to pick up a pencil and not do that.
Yeah, exactly. When it's AI that's used strictly for the purpose of replacing artists so you can save a couple of bucks when you're actually spending more on the AI software to have it learn the stuff in the first place or whatnot. Yeah, no, that's get out of here with that. Like screw generative AI when it comes to that.
Yeah, I know this is gonna be like I know this is definitely gonna give me like some heat for mentioning this, but I guess it's my popular belief. I'm not 100% against. Again, I'm not 100% against AI,
right?
Like, for sure, because I know there were definitely times where like if the only time I've ever used like generative AI or whatever is like when I am struggling so much to come up with a pose or come up with like a with like stories and stuff, and I'm like, I need to find a new pose, I need to find a color palette, like, and I tried Pinterest, I tried Google, like it is the last resort is what I'm trying to say.
No, absolutely. But also I will note that like as the last resort, you're using it as a tool. You're not using it to replace the art that you're going to be doing in the first place. That
is my overall stance, like generative AI, is that it is a tool, not a replacement.
Exactly. That's trust me, I if there's anyone that's going to give you sympathy, it's the person that has constantly said fuck AI on this podcast, all right? Like, because obviously, like, you've seen it in other facets outside of the creative field where AI can be good. But again, when people are using it to replace human beings for stuff that they can so easily do or whatnot, instead of using it as the tool it was intended to be, yeah, no.
And besides, like, even like, again, here's the thing is that I do believe that there is nuance here. I know that like the general public, people who aren't, I guess who don't really know artists that well, I do understand where they come from when it comes to using generative AI, because like, it's just like, oh, well, sometimes artists be charged too much, or sometimes like, I can't really find artists, or it's going to take me a while, or it's going to do this or that or that. Like, I can understand. However, I still wouldn't recommend using generative AI, because nowadays, even people who aren't artists they can tell when it's AI.
Yeah.
Like, they can tell. It's like, at that point, you might as well just get an artist to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Try to get again, there are hundreds of artists out there that can absolutely fit your budget, which is me. Hello, hi. If you want some,
I was gonna say there's thousands of artists out there at this point, especially one incredible one that I've been talking to for the past like hour or so at this point. You know.
Yeah, which I guess like about that, I've always wanted to like expand my art into like different, I guess different media or different industries as well.
Okay.
Because like I said, I do want to become an event planner or a wedding planner for sure. Like if things don't work out, because I feel like I could still, design or create things via that.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know if like I told you, but my family does have a rental. Like we do have like a rental business thing where people like rent our tables and chairs and whatnot. And now like we finally have like enough money where we can like invest on like decorating as well. And I kind of use that opportunity to like learn how to decorate or learn how to, I guess, how to learn how to adapt people's visions like to life.
Okay.
When it comes to like their parties and stuff. Because it's getting rough out there. Like ain't nobody got time or money to, spend on like a big venue and whatever. Especially up here in Indiana. Like there's not much to work with up here.
But even then, having that kind of outlet with your family to potentially expand it to a point where you can, again, exert your creativity in a different manner when it comes to event planning and wedding planning and stuff like that. That's still a fun creative outlet to put it into.
It is really fun to like decorate. I don't care what anybody says. Like it is very fun to decorate. Yeah. And like, go to literally today, like I don't know if you saw like in the yen spin, but like I recently, made a like wedding sign that people in my family's business, if they want to rent a sign, they can use that. And I was like, it's fun. I want to do I want to do more.
Yeah.
Like I like going to a dollar store and stealing all the not stealing, but buying all the roses. I shouldn't say stealing. I'm sorry.
I know what you meant. I just love how you quickly corrected yourself right there. Like you. Anyway, sorry. Continue, please. Sorry to interrupt you with my laughter.
No. It's all good. I'm glad you're happy. But it's I mean, recently I've grown a passion for it, and again, like I've also been like helping Ash like plan her wedding as well, and I'm like, I can make a career out of this. Yeah. Like, what am I doing here?
I mean, if nothing else, especially when it comes to like wedding planning and such, like there's so many different people with so many different personalities that they try to bring out, because this is for people like the opportunity for them to have like the best memory of their life in their entirety, and to be able to play in the sandbox and find a way to help creatively bring that to life. Like, there's a lot of creative potential in there.
Yeah, for sure. And also, like, I believe you can absolutely do it, like, on a freaking dollar store budget, because...
Oh, yeah.
Like, one thing I want to do, like, I guess a more realistic goal for me right now is to basically get myself out there and, like, have people hire me design and create, like, their invitations or their programs or, whatever they need. Like, or wedding signs and stuff. For sure. I feel like it's an easy way to... at least an easy way to like get myself out there into the general public, not necessarily just the I guess like the artists.
No, absolutely.
Crowd.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously you want to try to get yourself out there for the general crowd when it comes to wedding planning and stuff like that. Again, artists are getting married, but I don't think every single artist is going to be looking for wedding planners and such immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
Goodness.
But yeah, I feel like that's definitely like a realistic career choice that I can, definitely have. Because again, I already have a background, doing that kind of stuff with my family.
Right.
And I feel like it's a good launch pad for me.
Honestly, seriously, like I sincerely hope that whether it be one of the three paths that you pick, like if you like, I'll put it like this. If you go down the wedding planner, like plan or whatnot, or go down that path or whatnot, I would be so proud and happy to hear about that, especially with the way you're talking about it right now. Cause I can tell there's that good bit of excitement of thinking like, how can I make something that, again, I can make cheaply from dollar stores lead to like the greatest forever moments for two people that are deciding to spend the rest of their lives together. Like that's perfect. That's a great mentality to have when it comes to that at the end of the day. But
And again, like especially like and with events, like it gives me enough motivation to give a shit.
Yeah, there you
go. Try and work hard and stuff.
Absolutely.
Like I like doing it. I really like doing it. I love decorating when it comes to like events. Like I don't care.
There you go.
Like, oh, but those are fake flowers. I don't care. It looks good.
Oh no, that's extremely valid. I do love and appreciate that this is like the realistic goal for you, because for this next question, if I may go, what if we go a little above and beyond and I give you more or less the dream scenario, if I may? Let's say I am Big Shot Mr. Moneybags. You know about him. You're familiar with him. You've drawn him before. I come to you and like, look, Gold, we have seen some of the fantastic work you've been able to put out there, and we know there's a potential for more. You just need a little extra push, a little extra platform to get you to that point. We have access to everyone and anyone in whatever industry possible, and more money than there should be possible. We probably should be going to some of those comic book writers and comic book artists or whatnot, make sure that they are paid well, especially getting all the rights and stuff like that to the incredible stuff that they put out there in the first place instead of getting screwed by the industry. But we'll focus on them in a little bit. We promise. Right now, we're focusing on you and you alone. If given this opportunity, what would be the dream Gold project?
Ooh, definitely have one of my comics adapted into an animated movie.
Oh, for sure. Okay. Yeah, actually getting the opportunity to bring that kind of like 80s vibe to life.
Yeah, I really want what's it called? What's that one? Like, I really want like DreamWorks specifically to make it. That one Trust Illumination, Disney. Like, I'm like, I don't know about that. But or Sony.
Yeah,
either DreamWorks or Sony. Too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, especially with how they've been killing it in the animation industry, like DreamWorks or Sony would be perfect for it.
Yeah, I that is like my like dream goal is to, have especially Tokki like have like the comic adapted into an animated movie.
That would be
for sure.
That would be incredible to see more anything. Would it? I have to ask it like this: like, is it going to be like a 2D style animation, 3D style animation? Are we getting like Spider-Verse-esque like visuals or whatnot when it comes to Tokki?
When it comes to Tokki, like this is an odd choice for sure, but I really want like an analog horror type like animation style.
Okay.
For sure.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, you have the resources and all that. We'll make it so. Tokki to the big screens in 2028 or whatnot. There you go. But sadly, we do gotta get down from the dream scenario. We have to get back to reality, and I'll ask the ever so...
Nope, there goes gravity.
Yep, there goes gravity. I'll have to ask the ever so generic question. Where do you hope to see yourself, say, 5 to 10 years from now?
Definitely living in Florida with Adam.
There you go.
Married.
There you go.
Have kids. I want to have kids with this man. He's very cool. And then also just, I guess like next 5 years, like I just see myself, in Florida, having our first child, being married. It's like, yeah. And then trying to, because again, like I don't, like I kind of want to be a stay-at-home mom.
There you go.
It's not bad. I know like a lot of women like warned me, especially to like hey, don't do that, because I want to be financially independent. I'm like, for me, like I'm good. I'm chilling. I trust this man.
There you go. Plus, like I said, if you decide to also go down like again one of the creative paths when it comes to either working in the art field or working with like event planning and such or whatnot, like you could have both cakes and eat it too with that one, like being a staying-home mom while also like creatively expressing yourself through those outlets or whatnot. That's still a possibility.
Yeah, for sure. I've told Adam this before, but like again, I don't mind being a stay-at-home mom. Like it's all good. And of course, like I at least want a side hustle, so I'm not like 100% financially dependent on him.
There you go. There you go. That's a good mentality to have at the end of the day. As we start to wind down the interview, Gold, I just got one last question I want to ask you. Obviously, you are very entrenched in art at this point. Like you have so much creativity that flows from you that it's gonna be hard to take you away from it in one form or fashion. How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
I'd say it's obviously very important because I hear people a lot, even like kids say that like, oh man, I wish it was like more colorful, or I hear especially adults say like, oh man, like everything's all gray and black and brown now. Like I wish there was more color. I wish we had like the old McDonald's building, or I wish we had the old malls that were here, or I wish we had this, had that. Like especially when it comes to like architecture and like just overall like the world around. Like how how buildings are designed and overall like how movies are,
right,
and stuff. Like I always hear people like long for the campiness, and because let's be real for a second, a lot of stuff. Yeah, there are a few hidden gems here and there, but like the majority of the time, like all you see is just like really grayed out, really dark and serious and stuff like it. And considering, like, the time we're in right now, we are, again, we want some campiness. We want some, just ridiculous, funny, happy media.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm not an influencer or something. But, I believe art is very important. It is. I'm pretty sure without it, we would be even more depressed than we already are. Because art is everywhere. You cannot escape. Even if you wanted to.
Trust me, I couldn't escape it if I tried. I mean, but that's also because I've so deeply entrenched myself with art in general. But when it comes to the general public, yeah, no, it's hard to really get away from it at this point.
Yeah, because you go outside. I mean, there's like the trees and the sun and the clouds. It's all like forms of beautiful scenery. You go inside, you got the colors, you got the color of the walls, you got like the decor you have inside your house. Like even, it's weird to say, even like the stuff that you don't think is art is also art. Like someone had to design that.
Oh yeah.
No,
absolutely. I think that is wonderfully worded, if I do say so myself. Gold, that is all the questions I have for you today. I've already showered you with Lord knows how much praise at this point, but I'm gonna shower you with a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do what the fuck I want. No, like I said before we even got started, Gold, like your art is something that I'm always amazed by. Like just whatever art style you decide to put forth or whatnot, you knock it out of the park 10 times out of 10. It's absolutely insane. Like no matter what the subject matter is, no matter how insane of a concept or how sweet of a concept it is, I really do love and appreciate what you are able to put out there in the world. Getting the chance to talk with you about this kind of art journey and see like just how much of a wild ride is exactly what I expected, but it also gives me a new level of love and respect for what you do at the end of the day. And I sincerely hope one way or another you're able to be successful in a creative field, but just any of the fields that you find love and interest in at the end of the day. Whether you do get a chance to work in the art industry and bring like character designs and such to life to bigger and better things, whether you get to show people just how much of a fun creative idea it is to be a wedding planner, or whether you get to hop in a van and chase down a hurricane or tornado somewhere in Central Florida or whatnot. Like at the end of the day, like I could tell that you have a lot of love and passion for each and every one of those things. And I sincerely hope you get the opportunity to really delve deep and go into one of those fields, because you seem like someone that really loves and enjoys the life that they have and want more of it. And I sincerely want that for you at the end of the day. The long and the short of it is, Gold, thank you for what you do. Thank you for the incredible quality of work and also the incredible quality friendship that I can easily say we have or whatnot at the end of the day.
You're welcome.
And just thank you for being an awesome person. I sincerely hope, I know I'm one of few, but hopefully I'm one of many that get a chance to see what you're able to put out there and show that same love and support back to you. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Now, if people want to know why I've been talking about this incredible art and the weird humor and all that kind of stuff that we talked about, go ahead and plug your stuff for the people at home. Where can people find more about you and what you got going on?
Excellent question. I'm mostly active on TikTok. I started doing that recently. I've been pumping a bunch of slop there.
There you go.
But if you want more gold slop, you can also go on Instagram. It's the same name. You just type in gold, and it's with 10 O's, by the way, people. 10 O's.
It's with 10 O's.
10 O's.
I miscounted.
Yes.
I thought it was 8. That was on me.
It's okay. We all make mistakes. But
I know
yes.
that's how I got here. Anyways,
Yeah. Heck yeah. Actually, where's the crab? Bless her heart.
I'll be sure to have all those links and then some in the description below, so that people are having an issue figuring out how many O's there are on your name. They just scroll down, they can find it, and they can show that love and support back to you at the end of the day.
Yep.
Do you have any final words before we sign off?
Excellent question. Deuces.
Tell me what's wrong, tell me sparks in motion. Sing me a song, tell me your eyes can all open. Show me it all, put me up in the car you drove when you used to call. Show me it all.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Like I said in the intro, this was a absolutely wild and silly conversation I was so glad to have with Gold. And Gold, I know I said this before, I've said it again, thank you so much for taking the time, not only just to do this, but taking the time to be just a good friend. Like, you're really one of the chillest homies that I've been able to meet along this kind of, podcast, content, bullshit, or whatnot. And it's really nice to have a good buddy like you in there. It's always nice to consider the people that I have been able to come and go through this podcast more than anything else. I think with this interview, as well as some stuff that, like, for example, when it comes to like planning the Posty Awards, which should come out in early May, you get to kind of realize just how incredible the people that you meet and how some of them can really become some of your closest knit friends at the end of the day. I really do appreciate the people that have been a part of this podcast, but also just been a part of my life. Like, I know we mentioned it in the episode itself, but the trips that I've been able to go on to meet incredible people, both guests that I've known before and guests that I'm meeting for the first time, really getting the chance to be a part of their lives, be a part of their circle, really continuing to show the love and support that I did whenever they took the time to be here on the podcast. It always leaves me amazed just how many incredible people there are at the end of the day. It's something that it's always in the back of my head more than anything else, just when it comes to, how involved are people, or how much do they want to be a part of a person's life at the end of the day. Because especially for some of the creators I bring on here, like, let's be honest, they've got a lot of love and support. They got a lot of people backing them up. But the fact that some of them still show that kind of little ounce of care towards, someone that's willing to listen to them for about an hour or so, it's always amazed me. It even amazes me more with some of the people that, before I've had a chance to talk with them, really want to show love and support, not just because, oh, you're the podcast dude, you got a chance to talk to XYZ or whatnot, but because they recognize that, like, hey, you're a cool person. I want to show love and support for you because you're really cool with what you do. Thanks, man. I always try to give that love right back. And I always try to let those people know that I do not take their love and support for granted. Because they genuinely do mean the world to me. Just like you guys do. The ones that have stuck up to this point to listen to whatever ramblings I have at 10:30 at night when I'm recording this thing, I genuinely do not take your love and support for granted. It's support from guys like you that keep me going on this podcast path at the end of the day. And I sincerely hope that I'm doing the best to honor that love that you're giving to me. I hope I'm doing the best to really give that back to this community and giving you guys something that you can really enjoy. And I sincerely hope that you guys continue to show that love and support, not just for myself, but for the artists that come and go through this podcast, because they are some impressive people and they deserve all the love and support. I cannot thank you all enough, and I hope you all have a wonderful one. No matter where you are, no matter what time of day it is, no matter what you're going through, I sincerely hope that you have a wonderful one.